Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Admiral Markets webinar. Today is 27th of May, 2015. I hope that you had a great day today. We had nice pips from Euro Yen from the analysis. Then I particularly stated that we could buy, and now it went something like 80 pips in profit. So it was a very good trade, and we are having a good preparation for our webinar. So I hope that you are all cheered up and happy, because we are gonna talk about some tricks with Bollinger Bands and how traders should apply Bollinger Bands in their trading. Before we begin, as always, our standard is disclaimer. Online education, okay, I don't have a risk disclaimer, but I will tell you, online education materials are created by Admiral Markets Estonia for a global audience. Therefore, please take into consideration the information this session may not be suitable for everyone. To get a corresponding information on charting conditions and any other detail, please visit www.admiralmarketsglobal.com, select your country, and contact an appropriate entity. So I know this risk disclaimer I have been telling you so many times, and I know it's in my head. And so we are ready to proceed, okay? Let's see today's agenda. Bollinger Bands, practical usage, squeeze, this is also important, squeeze, riding the bands, then we will talk about Keltner, and then we will see Keltner plus Bollinger Band combination, because it is used in a proper squeeze. So that will be a proper squeeze term. And I will show you how you can find a proper squeeze within the Bollinger Band. Okay, so this is today's agenda. Bollinger Bands are originally developed by John Bollinger, and the thing is they are pretty much used in forex and stock market trading. Okay, when John Bollinger started to create, and when he created those bands, he had basically stock markets in mind. The thing is that okay, before I continue, I see the comment, the sound I cannot hear and the image is dark. Could you confirm that you can see the screen clearly and that you can also hear me clearly? So it's okay for everyone. If you have any problems, guys, restart and check your monitor, because I have a confirmation that both sound and screen is very clear and loud, so all is okay. So when John Bollinger created Bollinger Bands, he had mostly stock market in mind, not forex market. But forex market has a good usage of Bollinger Bands, because there are a lot of Bollinger Band strategies over there, and there is really a lot of Bollinger Band systems. Okay, the thing is, now if you compare the standard Bollinger Bands to today's chart, you will see that sometimes those Bollinger Bands are not so good for showing you what they did in the past. And guys, yes, if you have any problems in hearing or in watching the screen, you can relog. So the thing is, John Bollinger created bands with 20-day SMA in mind. This is the formula: 20-day simple moving average SMA times the upper band, which equals to 20-day SMA plus 20-day standard deviation of price time. So this is the formula. But we need to make some changes to this, not to this formula, but to the appliance of Bollinger Bands. So This is the standard MetaTrader 4 Bollinger Band setup. So period 20, deviations 2, and I have personally tested 100 period Bollinger Band, 50 period Bollinger Band, 20 period with slightly different deviations. And what I have concluded in my testing is that basically for one purpose we need to have 100 uh, period Bollinger Band, mostly for swing trading and for trading counter trend. For trend trading, we need to have 20 period with deviation set on 1. So we will talk a little bit about it today. And all these settings can change, of course. Yen is saying, sorry, any advice? I cannot hear. I don't know what the problem is. Try to relog. Try to relog. To relog, I can say. So if you don't have any sound, try to relog. Okay. So not sure why that is. So the thing is that Bollinger Bands, as I say, on different settings are used for different things. Identifying tops and identifying bottoms is the standard procedure through which Bollinger Band traders go every time. Also, we need to say that by identifying tops and bottoms, I specifically think about and I refer to counter trend trading. Riding the bands is actually trend trading, and Bollinger Band squeeze is waiting for breakout. Okay, so with having said that, we can safely conclude that Bollinger Bands can be used in trend trading by riding the bands, then with counter trend trading with identifying tops and identifying bottoms, then breakout trading by identifying a squeeze. Okay, and there is also a version of Bollinger Bands without a middle band. The indicator on MT4 is called bands, and you can actually hide the middle band so it doesn't show up on MT4 charts. Okay, so this is basically how Bollinger Band look like. And when I said identifying bottoms and tops, this is actually how traders usually do. Waiting for a break above the bands, then close inside, and that is all usually reserved for counter trend trading. Counter trend trading on Bollinger Bands showed great results with 100 period Bollinger Band or with 50 period Bollinger Band, usually 100 with deviation of 2, and usually those bands would be deviated one from another. They wouldn't be close. And that is what I also showed you on the webinar. I think the webinar was called Price Action, when you basically try to trade counter trend opportunities by identifying Bollinger Bands, tops and bottoms with candlestick patterns. Okay, so break above then close inside usually is the signal for traders to go counter trend. Now Bollinger Band work usually in conjunction with pivot points or other support and resistance indicators such as 100 EMA or 200 EMA. Their primary support and resistance indicator. Okay, so Bollinger Bands are primary support and resistance indicator. But we can also use it for riding the trend. And then it's called riding the bands, riding the Bollinger Bands. Okay? So when we use it for riding the trend, then those Bollinger Bands have different purpose. Then we use it only as support or resistance, not for both. Okay? I will show you that on charts. Counter trend setups by Bollinger Bands, I need to say, are most frequent. So counter trend setups are definitely more frequent, okay, than trend setups, which are based on riding the bands. So close outside, inside is counter trend, trading by Bollinger Bands, and riding the band is actually trend trading. This is so-called squeeze. When you see Bollinger Bands very close to each other, we call it a squeeze. Squeeze is important for Bollinger Band traders because the squeeze usually is followed by a breakout. John Bollinger talked about squeeze a couple of times. I was listening to his educational presentation about Bollinger Band, and he was mentioning the squeeze a couple of times. That was some time ago, and actually I was gonna ask him about false breakouts of that squeeze, but it was some time ago and I didn't get the opportunity to ask him. But I have identified a lot of fake outs and false breakouts from that squeeze. So the thing is, I know how we can filter bad breakouts from the squeeze. There is a technique which can be applied to Bollinger Bands. So my observation is, indeed, squeeze is important because you know that market cycle has always the same pattern. There is accumulation, distribution, markup, markdown, all those phases of those market phases. Squeeze is actually accumulation, and after a squeeze there will be some distribution. But the thing is that if squeeze is followed by a false breakout, then traders would usually be caught in the false breakouts and they can lose the money, actually hitting the stops. So I recommend using other tactics for squeeze trading. I will show you that later during the webinar. But it's important to say that a squeeze is also part of Bollinger Band teaching and John Bollinger education. Okay. Actually, when we see a squeeze, we know that both of these bands are converging. They are converging. They are going, basically, it looks like they're going to touch. They're converging. When there is a breakout, we can identify that breakout as a divergence. So basically, it's not a typical divergence we see on MACD or other oscillator indicators. That divergence is called divergence because after the squeeze, there is divergence of both Bollinger Bands, top and the bottom one. So if this is a squeeze, this is divergence. And usually that divergence is telling us where the price is going to go. Okay? But that squeeze can also be followed by a false breakout, effectively trapping the traders in a bad trade unless they exit from the market. Okay, so the squeeze marks the consolidation, okay, which is usually followed by distribution or a trend. Okay, volatility is preceded by a squeeze. Usually after the squeeze we will see volatility. Okay, on low volatility days market should eventually revert back to its normal level of volatility. So when we see a squeeze, there can be some divergence of the band which will usually converge back into a squeeze. But it happens usually on low volatility days. On high volatility days, bands diverge and a trend or whipsaw is created. So this is how normal Bollinger Band squeeze trend looks like. Divergence and trend. Squeeze and trend. Squeeze and trend. Squeeze and trend. Squeeze and trend. By looking at the channel, standard trend line channel, you can see that this is actually a downtrend, which it is indeed on 1 hour time frame. So when we see a squeeze, we need to assume that there will be a volatility following it, and the market would either go back into the squeeze or it will create a trend. So we can assume that a squeeze is actually a period of consolidation before next move. This is a whipsaw, so you can see how price is going up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. We don't want to look at this kind of charts. We're not interested to take any trades on the chart like this, okay? As this is actually a whipsaw which has been followed by weird Bollinger Bands forms. Look at this. Compare these two charts. Okay? This one looks way better than this one. Okay? So this is actually a whipsaw which was followed by huge volatility in the market. This can be a sign for you to step away from charts or do not watch this pair if it makes whipsaw pattern. So it is basically a hint for you to stay away from this market, or at least from this pair, as you always want to see a proper trend, not this. You want to see this. Okay? Bollinger Bands trend is actually riding the bands. We use it in trend conditions, and a lot of traders really use Bollinger Bands riding the bands form for trend trading. There is usually a squeeze breakout, then it's followed by riding the bands. So after a squeeze there is a breakout, and after a breakout there is so-called riding the bands. We need to change the deviation from 2 to 1 usually after the bands for Bollinger Bands to actually ride the bands. This is how it looks like. This is called riding the bands. As you can see, the price has broken out from the bands, and actually you can see that how price is riding the band in the direction of the trend. So this is actually riding the band. Okay, you see how price is riding the band. So that is trend trading, but usually the deviation should be changed from 2 to 1. And this is the chart of Bollinger Band's 20 period with deviation set to 1. Okay, so look at this, riding the bands. Price is actually outside the bands. Okay, and usually the middle band shows you the prevailing trend and shows you the direction of the price. Okay, and you can see the squeeze, and the squeeze is followed by riding the bands. Just take a look in this example at the tops of this candle, how they are actually hitting the lower bands. So this is resistance, this is support, and this is how trend riding looks like. Bollinger Band counter trend, we use it in counter trend conditions. Okay, usually Bollinger Band counter trend is waiting for pin bar break above bands, then close inside the bands. That is how Bollinger Band's counter trend looks like. Close inside after the break is the most important. Okay, so it's actually called counter trend, and the principle of counter trend Bollinger Band trading and analysis is close outside, close inside. Okay, and it works best when trend is sideways, when trend is not strong. Okay, that is the time when it works the best. This is actually how most of the systems based on Bollinger Bands look like. So the same candle should have a pin breaking the bands but the close inside, inside, outside, pin, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside, outside, inside. So the main principle is the same candle should break the bands and close inside it. Coupled with some indicators, there are also effective counter trend strategies. Okay, and this is standard period. This is basically 22. Okay, for this 20 period Bollinger Band 2 period deviation. This was 20 to 1, and this is riding the bands. You see, this is not counter trend. This is usually used for trend trading, and this is used for counter trend trading. The important notice for this kind of trading is actually this pin bar. Same candle break and pin bar close within the bands will usually be a sign of a possible retracement or reversal. Watch this chart and you will find the logic behind it. Sometimes even not just a pin bar, but there is also a pattern. So this was a breakout and this was close inside, and this is bearish engulfing pattern. Okay, this is dark cloud cover pattern. So you have bearish engulfer, dark cloud, and watch what happened with the price after it. dark cloud again. So the thing is, in this kind of trading, traders usually look for these pin bars, one candle outside inside rejection, and then they open sell or a buy trade. Or they wait for a pattern after the breakout of one of the bands. Look at this also here. Pin bar rejections, outside inside pattern. Look at this. Okay. Yan is saying, I have not been able to hear, so sad. This webinar will be uploaded tomorrow, so do not worry, okay, about it. Usually we use it on 1 hour charts for intraday time frames, but there is also some systems which use it on 5-minute time frames. So actually you can, it depends from a system to a system. Now we don't talk at this point, we are not talking about particular system. We are talking about particular usage of Bollinger Bands. And this knowledge can help you, for example, in your own strategies, or you can make a lot out from this knowledge which I'm presenting you today. Okay? And this is practical usage of Bollinger Bands. Okay? Riding the bands, either during the trend or counter trend, and squeeze as a breakout. So the logic behind this is, if this is a resistance, which indeed it is, because it's a top Bollinger Band, a pin by rejection would signal that sellers are taking control and that longs will surrender. Same here. Bulls are taking control and bears will surrender. And watch these patterns. So the conclusion for counter trend Bollinger Bands trading is, you should always watch for breakout above or below Bollinger Band on the same candle, then close inside it, effectively forming a pin bar. Or you can watch a breakout outside, which is followed by a big bearish candle inside, effectively making bearish engulfing or dark cloud cover pattern. Or in the form of a long setup, it can be either like this, bullish engulfer or piercing line. So pin bars or two candle bullish bearish patterns. Keltner channel looks similar to Bollinger Bands, and actually Keltner channel is a volatility based indicator. It's primarily trend following indicator, which is used for trend following setups. Keltner is used for identifying breakouts. And because of that, we actually can make a proper squeeze of Bollinger Bands by appliance of Keltner channel on the same chart. Okay. Formula for Keltner is this. I don't need to read through it. You can read it on the screen. So this is the formula for Keltner channel. Breakouts can be identified by using proper breakout knowledge and Bollinger Bands. This is how Keltner channel looks like inside Bollinger Bands. This black envelope, it looks like an envelope, is actually Keltner channel, okay, inside Bollinger Band. But you see, this is not enough for some information. So for a proper Bollinger Band squeeze, we need to have a combination of Keltner channel and Bollinger Band. Bollinger Band should be put and left on default values, and Keltner should be set on 15 period inside indicator. The default value for a Keltner channel indicator is 10. You need to set it on 15. Proper squeeze is when both the upper and lower Bollinger Bands go inside the Keltner channel. Blue is Bollinger Band, red is Keltner. So this is a squeeze when upper and lower Bollinger Bands go inside the Keltner channel. Okay, this is the squeeze here. Proper squeeze, guys. And proper squeeze. Bollinger Bands inside Keltner channel. Proper squeeze. It does not happen always. That is why we need to filter out Bollinger Band squeeze with Keltner channel. Okay? Not every squeeze on Bollinger Band is proper squeeze. Proper squeeze is only when this rule has been respected. And Bollinger Bands on default, Keltner on 15. This is also a proper squeeze, look. Okay? Now there is one of the strategies where we can use this Bollinger Band squeeze, proper Bollinger Band squeeze, and the appliance is also seen on M5 chart. Okay? You need to identify a proper Bollinger Band squeeze, then watch for previous high and low, and take the breakout after high or low break. Okay? This is a proper squeeze. Bollinger Band inside Keltner channel. Previous low was obviously this. Breakout of this previous low usually leads to a proper breakout. Okay? So guys, this is what we can use from Bollinger Bands. There are many systems and many methods which will tell you, okay, when price hits Bollinger Band and I don't know, EMAs cross, you can take those trades. But Bollinger Bands can be also used this way. Okay? So, once more to recap, we use Bollinger Bands for identifying tops and identifying bottoms. That is counter trend. Riding the bands, which is a trend, and squeeze, which is breakout. Okay? This is standard Bollinger Band squeeze, and it shows a lot of fake outs. So we need to use the filter. Squeeze marks the consolidation, and usually after the consolidation, we can see how Bollinger Bands diverge one from another. Okay? That is usually the mark of the trend or whipsaw. This is proper trend. This is how we should not take any trades when we see this kind. And Bollinger Bands are Look how Bollinger Bands look like, erratically. This is the proper picture of Bollinger Bands. Breakout, squeeze. Breakout, squeeze. This is improper. Hectic movement of Bollinger Bands. Look, even just by looking at this chart, you can become nervous. Look how price is nervous. And you don't want to trade this. So trend is usually riding the bands outside, but we need to set the deviation to 1. Counter trend is close outside inside of either a pin bar or bearish or bullish 2 candlestick pattern. The main thing here is break outside of the Bollinger Band, then usually on the same candle close inside, or 2 candlestick pattern, break above or break below, then close inside, as in this example. Okay, here, this is piercing line here, and this is bearish engulfing here. Okay, and you can see the reactions after it's broken and closed inside. Keltner channel is used as additional tool for proper squeeze. Okay, proper Bollinger Band squeeze. Proper squeeze is combination of Keltner channel and Bollinger Band. Okay, proper squeeze is when both the upper and lower Bollinger Bands go inside the Keltner channel. This is Bollinger Band squeeze, proper squeeze. Okay, and it usually eliminates false breakouts. So Bollinger Bands inside Keltner, and Keltner is set to 15. Okay, not 10, which is default value on MT4. And usually this is how we apply a proper Bollinger Band squeeze. We need to wait for a squeeze to happen, then watch for previous high low. This was obviously previous low, and this was previous high, and usually there will be a breakout which will be followed usually also by Bollinger Band lower or upper line breaking through Keltner channel. This is also, look at this, blue line breaking down. You don't have, you see it's going up, but the price is going down, and this is the cue for you to actually try to have a breakout trade below the candles. Okay, that is how we identify a proper Bollinger Band squeeze. So guys, this was everything I prepared for you today. If you have any questions, you can ask me. There will be a weekly session recap on Monday. Be sure to sign in. We got a lot of pips this week, and it was very, very good week for us. And if you're not sure whether you can use Bollinger Band in your trading, use this knowledge. At least it can help you to better understand the usage of Bollinger Bands, of riding the bands, of pin bar outside inside and 2 candle pattern outside inside rejections, and proper Bollinger Band squeeze. That is important for you if you want to trade price action, but also it can be important for you if you trade Bollinger Bands based systems. Okay, the questions. Yen is asking, where can I see it? Okay, where can I see it? The question is from Yan. I will ask you, I need to write it down obviously. So you can watch the webinar on Admiral Market YouTube channel, okay? I'll definitely test this strategy. Always hated Bollinger Bands, but now I might give him a try. Okay. Keltner is not on MT4, is it? It's not. But if you don't have Keltner channel indicator, you can email me and I will send you the indicator itself, okay? So do not worry about it, okay? Just send me an email, I will send you the indicator. Bollinger Band inside Keltner. Do you mean Bollinger Band with 2 deviation or 1 deviation? Okay. This is Bollinger Band inside outside. 20 period deviation is 2. Okay. Ilya. Counter trend is standard, or you can use 52. But standard is always 2 deviation. Deviation 1 is for riding the bands. Yan is asking, sir, please, would you be able to provide a link as to where the uploaded webinars can be seen? Sure. Just send me an email reminder. Okay. No worries. Is there any way to know whether the price will go to the other part of the band or to just turn when reaching the center SMA? No, there is no way. We don't know that. We can only assume that the price could go breaking the high or breaking the low. That is why, because Bollinger Bands are actually dynamic levels of support and resistance. When is the best moment when we need to close the position after the position is positive? It depends from price momentum, from your own money management, Oros. It's up to you whether you will go for full price projection or closing it after 20, 30, 50 pips. Usually when you trade intraday, you want to take at least 20 pips. But you can put your stop to break even or break even plus 20 when it breaks 20 pips positive. When do we talk about engulfing candles? Shouldn't a second candle be bigger than the whole previous candle? Yes, but Kathleen, it's not always about engulfing candles. This is dark cloud pattern. So check my webinar about candlesticks. This is dark cloud. This is bearish engulfing. But if you see a bullish candle and bearish candle which is smaller but close inside the body of previous candle, that is dark cloud pattern. Okay. Modris, I have tested it on 1 hour and usually counter trend is used on 1 hour. It depends from a system to system. This is not the actual system, as I implied. This is actually how you can apply Bollinger Bands. And counter trend is used on 1 hour. You can see it here. Trend on 1 hour, and you can try to use Bollinger Bands squeeze, proper squeeze breakout even on 5 minutes. So I was just explaining general rules for Bollinger Bands. If you can, Caroline is asking, do we wait for a close for a valid breakout? You can trade breakouts on 3 ways. You need to choose it. If you take this trade immediately, this is called trigger happy trade. If you make a trade when it retests this level here, it's called breakout retest. If you make a trade 2 pips below this, It's called breakout pullback continuation. So it's up to you how you will take breakouts. Okay. The question when it is possible to see uploaded webinar, I think it will be possible tomorrow. Where can we get Keltner channel? Just send me an email. I will send you Keltner channel. Keltner channel. Thanks for euro dollar setup. I have made 70 pips. Great. Great. I'm very happy. Email address, please. My email is tarantulafx@gmail.com. Okay. Is there a template for a Keltner and Bollinger Band setup? No. I will send you the Keltner channel indicator. Maybe other persons have the same problem with Yahoo Mail. You should probably tell them to use Gmail. I know, use Gmail. That is my email choice. Okay. Carolyn, this is engulfing here. Okay. This is engulfing here. This is actually dark cloud here. Okay. Pin bar and close inside Bollinger Band happened today on euro dollar. If I only knew this strategy. Ah, well, this is why I'm here. Where would we get in the trade when using right in the bands and counter trend? It depends, Stella, from a system to system. I was talking about general appliance of Bollinger Band. This is generally how you look at the Bollinger Bands. Usually traders take the trades immediately after breakout and close inside Bollinger Bands with pin bar, immediately after this candle closes. Okay? Usually they take the trades that way. But there are some systems which are based on this. Okay? Thank you, sir, for willing to help me. I only wish I could hear. Even I cannot hear. I'm still watching you as you are so clever. Okay, but Yen, this will be uploaded so you can watch it as many times as you wish. Okay. Thank you very much for your help. Okay, no worries, guys. I'm here to help you. So again, pay attention to the analysis. Admiral Markets website, technical analysis. My name is Nenad, also known as Tarantula. Forex Factory website. You can actively use also the conversation with me on Forex Factory Spiders Den. And watch my webinars with Admiral Markets, Forex Street, and follow me on Twitter. We will have many more of these webinars. Sign up for weekly recap for sure. Thank you for listening to me. I will be here with you soon. Have a nice day, and as always, trade safe.